Hello, beautiful people. This is Asa Leveaux, icon architect, founder of the Wealth Spa. I catapult audacious, and I do mean audacious entrepreneurs toward their next million by providing brand clarity, business automations, and bankable deliverables. Now, you may be wondering, why am I here to talk about the Icon Bootcamp if I help people toward their next million? Well, let's just state what that is right now. Yes, I help people toward their next million. And I have recently realized that I was doing individuals a disservice of individuals who were more like me when I first started out. Like complete disservice, because I have not always known what I've known. I have not always completed what I've completed to this date. And I needed help when I started. I needed some real show enough help. And when I was 22, I'll be 40 in this year, I didn't have that help. I thought that I could go to like SCORE and SBA and all these different things. And that was not the case. That was so not the case. They may help you with a business plan. They might, but that was it. And so I started thinking about what can I do to support individuals at this stage in business so that I don't feel like I'm leaving anybody behind. And that's what the Icon Bootcamp was born from. And luckily, people like who I'm going to introduce you to now, Janelle Houston, answered the call when I was like, you know what? I need help to make this real. I'm going to need some show enough help because I don't believe I can do this myself. That might have been a mindset thing. I don't know if it was a mindset thing. All I know, it was a real thing for me. And Janelle answered the call, and I am forever grateful. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you all Janelle Houston. Hello, Janelle.
Hello, Asa. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're here.
Yes.
So I know that your business is WordPhototeller Travel.
Yes.
I know about it, and I'm excited about this conversation because let me just be clear. I recently learned, and I say recently, I mean within the last 6 months, I learned, it's gonna sound weird, I learned that travel is my hobby. And the way how I learned this is because my ex-fiance, they were literally like, so, because they used to get really upset with me because they said I didn't have a hobby. They're like, all you do is business. Like, that's all you ever talk about. That's all you do. I mean, you read books, but most of your books are about business. I'm like, well, yeah. Then after we broke up and we had a conversation, they're like, I just realized what your hobby is. I'm like, what's that? They're like, it's travel. You will do anything. You will do anything to get on a plane. Like, and if there's anything that's associated with travel or a plane, it's as good as done because you're just gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
He's like, I had never considered that. So with that being said, please tell us what you do.
Yes. And first off, having travel as a hobby is a good thing. It was actually one of the things that I thought through when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do as a business. And I was like, a hobby that makes me money is the perfect, the perfect thing. So again, I'm Janelle Houston, the owner of WordPhototeller Travel. And I help consumers and entrepreneurs tell amazing travel stories by supporting them, whether their trip includes celebrations or presentations or a fun experience. And so I act as the concierge or catalyst to transform ideas into reality on a vacation. And so I have been blessed to work with, like I said, consumers for traditional trips, birthdays, honeymoon, weddings, those types of things, along with businesses who really want to dig deep and allow their communities to have experiences with them. And I can talk about all the benefits of that, but those are a bit of the things that I've done in this business.
So how can I say this? With what you just said, one thing that stuck out to me when you were just, because I've known you for a minute and you telling me about your business is that you can actually create an experience for entrepreneurs who have communities and provide not just a fun thing, but you can actually curate moments to where education is at the forefront. So a mastermind, a retreat with a focus on, creating completing a particular task, like that means a lot to me. And one reason that means a lot is because it's something that I actually saw on Instagram today. I saw that you can write off your birthday party as an entrepreneur at as you travel the world. So everybody knows I love Mykonos. I love Mykonos, like, oh my God. So essentially what I could do, I don't think I'm gonna do it, but I could. What I could do is I could take a trip to Mykonos, which I'm doing already, and then I could bring in maybe 5 to 10 people. They would pay themselves. I'm not paying for them. They would pay themselves. They would come in. We would do a mastermind for a day or half a day about business strategy, things that we can learn from each other, or I could just give a class or presentation on something, and then we can kick it for the rest of the time. Mm-hmm. And it could be a tax write-off.
Yep. I mean, I'm no tax professional, but business trips are business trips. So if you incorporate business on your trip, you can definitely, write it off. And that's a big part of it. And I love that you spoke to the balance of it all, because it doesn't have to be one or the other. You can incorporate both. And that's why I mentioned that it can be a fun experience while also introducing an educational component. You can book a conference room. You can have, an area where you're bonding and focusing on business related topics. But yeah, you can actually go and have fun too. You can go party, you can go do excursions. You can do some of the traditional things you do on a vacation while still, being able to build up your network through camaraderie and a lot of fun experiences. Because as we know, you really get to learn and understand people's personalities when they're out of the element of the workspace, So I think
it's like, oh, I didn't know Miss Cynthia was like that.
People, in a different light. And it's really important, especially in business, because, we all know relationships are currency, and it's not just about being able to give information. Sometimes you receive so much just by being around people. And if you don't get to know them, you don't know what information or insight or, tools they can lend to you without getting to really know them. And vacations are part of that.
Of course. So being the creator of WordPhototeller Travel, I have to ask this question. What is your favorite place to go?
Oh my goodness. I do get asked this question often.
Okay.
And I would say South Africa happens to be one of my favorite locations. Yes, I have been blessed to have traveled there a number of times, like 10 plus times. And so not only have I been able to see some of the traditional touristy things, but I've really been able to immerse myself in the culture locally, not even just the fun, pretty stuff, but, by visiting the townships and really getting to make connections and even friends there. And so that's definitely one of my top locations just to visit. It's been about 5 years since I've been, and I'm missing it. So
it's interesting you said South Africa.
Okay.
I am slated to go to South Africa this year because they are hosting a LGBTQ Black Author Summit.
Yep.
This summer, and I may be a part of that. And I've never been to the continent, ever. I've been to 25 countries and never the continent.
I always say South Africa is an easy introduction into the continent. I've been to multiple countries on the continent, and the reality is there's a lot of westernized components to South Africa, and it does make the experience a bit more relatable when it comes down to lodging, when it comes down to things to do, even the scene. Like, for example, I'm from Chicago originally. I went to South Africa and I heard all this house music everywhere. And I forgot they were big into house music. And so what happens is you go and you learn that there's so many common traits in, the things that we like in other countries. That's why going and exploring and experiencing different things, it really helps broaden your mind, because you might think, oh, I don't know anything about South Africans, but then when you go, you're like, I actually do. And so I'm happy that you have it on the horizon. It's also a little more, open to LGBTQ, because
Mhm.
I think someone was telling me yesterday, Uganda has some new
Oh,
rules where
believe me,
it's a
believe me,
whole situation.
we know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's always good to understand those things, not even just for
Mhm.
the consumers, but even as professionals. We need to know those details, because I can't send, my clients to locations where they won't feel safe. So
Yes.
the good things to.
Like for instance, I wouldn't send a group of women,
Mhm.
regardless of race, to parts of Saudi Arabia. And I used to live in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I would not. I would never.
Yeah.
I mean, and so the same way that it's important for women to be safe, it's also important for Black people,
Yeah.
brown people to be safe. Also, queer people need to be safe. We all need to be safe, because let me be very
Everybody needs
clear.
to be
I
safe.
don't want that. I don't desire a place for white men to feel unsafe.
Yeah.
I don't desire that. We all should feel safe. And I'm very thankful that as the creator and the founder of WordPhototeller Travel, that is in the forefront of your mind.
Yeah.
I
Safety is
love that for
yeah.
sure. So, what I would like to know is there a particular reason or any reason at all why you were able to say yes to supporting us in bringing the Icon Bootcamp to more individuals? Because we definitely appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it. But we would love to know if there was any particular reason why you said yes.
Well, newsflash, Asa Leveaux is the reason. You are the draw. You are the brand. And that is the reason why initially, I was attracted to the opportunity to work with your business. One of the things I love is that you say you support audacious entrepreneurs, and these are bold words and bold statements that really draw to me, because I enjoy when people are not afraid to step out and stand out. And so for me, it's all about partnering with businesses that are very intentional and bold about progression and making sure people, in their communities or in their sphere of influence have the opportunity to become better. And so that's a big part of what you're doing. So I know a big part of the focus is to really help grow businesses to the six-figure and above $1 million mark. And to me, the biggest way that I influence that through the work that I do, of course, is through helping brands understand the benefit in the camaraderie that can be built in an international experience. A lot of times, going back to, the retreat piece or team building, if you meet in your local environment, how often is it where people are in a meeting and they are multitasking on a computer? Or how often is it where people are like, I need to step away? Or if it's in the same city, look, I may drive in for this part of your session, but I need to go back home and deal with my family duties. When you take people out of their element and take them outside to another country, it really does help. And so I think any opportunity that I have to help people understand those benefits is a plus for me and also a plus for you, because the reality is when people understand their brand potential by way of travel, it not only increases their ability to grow and expand, it also helps their membership build camaraderie and want to stay. Like, how many people will want to continue working with you if they know that you're providing a great experience for them? And so there's so many other things I can touch on with that, but those are part of the reasons why I was attracted to the opportunity to work with you. I do work with businesses that support and coach and lend guidance to other entrepreneurs. And so that's a big part of it. But I will re-emphasize again that your personality is very vibrant and strong. And I really appreciate the opportunity to connect and partner with you on this.
So thank you for that. Honestly, thank you for that. And I'm looking up because when I look up, it means my mind is working.
You're thinking. Your mind is racing.
I'm thinking. And so most individuals that are connected to me know that. So right now we're recording this in March of 2023. By August of 2024, I will be living in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Yes.
And I have been considering having my first ever retreat in Rio next year. And I'm thinking we need to have a conversation about that.
I think we should.
I think we should. Because I already have the framework for it. It's going to be it's definitely it's going to be intense, but not intense in the way people think it's going to be intense. It's going to be Asa intense. And if anyone's ever been to a conference or a party or a rave or a festival with me, you already know what that's about. I like to do a lot of things. However, get money. If anyone's ever seen the movie Belly with DMX and Nas, like, get money. Like, I love that little snippet. That's me all day. I would love to be able to do that. So I'll be contacting you. I'll probably need to get on your calendar. And for anyone else that is having a thought like, okay, I wonder how Janelle can support me. Where should they go? What website, link they should go to support them?
Yes, so I do have a site that will take you directly to my calendar to schedule a discovery call specifically for retreats. And it is bit.ly/retreat boss. bit.ly/RETREAT BOSS.
Okay, got it.
So talk through ideas because everything is customized based off, your desires, your branding story, because, the WordPhototeller piece is very intentional about telling your travel story. And so whether you want photo shoots, all of these things are resources to help support with while you just show up as the main focal point of the group. You don't need to deal with people missing their flights. You don't need to having room issues or, wanting to enhance. All these things that we as travel professionals deal with, that's what me and my team will support in the background while you can show up in your zone of genius. So.
Yeah, because that's, even though, yes, over 20 years, Army logistics, so that technically is my zone of genius. Yeah. However, let me be very clear. While I'm doing a retreat, especially the intense level of retreat that I desire to do, I don't want to know about nobody's rooms. I don't want to know about nobody's keys. I don't want to know about nobody didn't bring their visas. I don't want to know about none of that.
These things happen. Show up. Yeah, passports, all of it. It all happens. So
of course it does happen. Well, again, Janelle, thank you so very much for showing up for me. It has meant a lot as I come out of entrepreneurial hibernation. Even though I've definitely done things, I haven't been this focused and loud in quite some time. I had to heal myself for a couple things, and healing is real. And I will say travel has healed me many times. I know what it's like to cry in an ocean, but gratitude tears, like, ain't nothing like
conversation yesterday. It's the real therapy at times.
It is. And I will say to Black and brown people, because I don't mind having those kind of conversations, there is something that cannot be, or I have not found a great way how to articulate it yet. There is something that happens the moment your body is in a plane, and the moment it comes out across American soil, there is something that ancestrally jumps up in you that you weren't aware of until you leave the continent, not the continent, the country of the United States. Am I talking about the United States? No, I'm not. Am I scared to? Definitely not. Yeah. But that's not what this is about. It's something about our history in this country and how you don't have to deal with that particular history on any other country in the world. Yeah. There are some places that come close, but nothing like this particular country at this particular time.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that happens when you leave. And did you feel that too?
Oh, all the time, all the time. It's definitely a thing. It's a real thing that I think most people feel. And there's a lot of anxiety that comes with day-to-day living in these United States of
Yeah.
America. It's just the reality. And sometimes you can find it going to another state, just getting a change of scenery. But yeah, personally, I find joy. Like I love introducing people to new experiences and new places. So for me, it's all about the explorer in me loves to be able to go and really see and understand something new. And when I can allow people who are open to doing so, because a lot of people are set like, no, I like the countries I go to.
Right.
Going to Jamaica every year, you're not gonna stop. Like, no, let's go other places. There's other places. It's okay. And
There's so many other places. Okay. And what state are you living in now?
I live in Texas.
But you're not from Oklahoma. You went to school.
I went to school in Alabama. So this is part of my journey as well.
So
I've
being
lived
from
on every
Alabama,
coast. I've lived in every coast, seriously. So I, as a child and as a maturing adult, had to learn how to adapt to different regions of the United States. And that in itself can be a culture shock sometimes. And so doing that throughout my matriculation, growing up has helped me be open-minded to other cultures and other people. And so how that translates to the business is definitely, keeping things open as far as other countries and cultures. So yeah, I definitely find joy in that euphoric feeling of excitement when I'm getting ready to go to a new place that I've, explore for the first time, or even a place that I've been to, because what I found is you can create different experiences each time. And that's another thing, you don't have to do the same things. Staying at different locations, exploring different parts can give you totally different experiences. Montego Bay and Kingston, totally different experiences.
Completely different.
If we go back to the Jamaica example,
completely different.
Yeah. So being able to stretch yourself or for me to stretch other people's minds outside of the normal routine that they are used to is a win for me. I feel like
I just need you to come do a whole little seminar in Oklahoma to tell everybody from Oklahoma that Dallas is not it. It is not like we don't have to just go to Dallas. My thing is I use Dallas as a launch point. Like I drive from Oklahoma City to Dallas because the flights are like $300 and $400 cheaper if I just travel 3 hours down I-35. But so many people in Oklahoma are still like what you doing for your birthday? We're going to Dallas. I'm like, Dallas? I'm doing my best not to be that guy. Like, peeing on people's dreams. But there's so much more out there. Okay, so as we wrap up, I would love to know a place you haven't been before that you would love to go.
Mauritius.
Okay, what is Mauritius? Okay, I'm very I read the Rob Report and everything. What's Mauritius?
It's a small little island.
I thought that was somebody's hood grandbaby.
Oh my God. Listen, it probably is someone's name. Now I ain't gonna say hood, but I bet.
Okay, in my family, you're gonna be, if you are on that side, because I have many sides of my family. You are on the hood side, yeah. You on there, your baby Mauritius. Yep, watch.
Yes. I don't remember exactly how I discovered Mauritius, but it's been on my list. It was one of those places I think I saw a documentary about. That's exactly what it was. I don't remember the full story, but there was a guy who got bit by a jellyfish and he ended up having like a near-death experience, or actually he said he did die, and then he came alive or was revived somehow. And I just was drawn to this story and drawn to the area, because one, I hadn't heard of it at the time. And then two, I was like, wow, I never heard anybody else talking about it. And sometimes you just want to find a place that nobody else knows about. So of course this interview may introduce others, but to me, that's what it is. It's like, what's the uncovered part of the world that nobody is really talking about? And so Mozambique is another. It's like I have these countries. I don't know what it is with the M countries, but
But
Those
then
are,
I'm never gonna forget Mauritius.
yeah, I know. And listen, look it up because you'll see the beautiful waters. And it reminds me of like a small island that probably has nothing to do, but just sit
Mm.
and relax. But you know, you need that every now and then. There's enough,
Yeah. Oh, a place where you don't bring your phone.
or maybe where the phone just won't work, where
Oh
Wi-Fi is an option,
yeah.
where
I
just
only where you only want the Wi-Fi to work at the airport.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
don't live that life where I turn the phone off and disconnect and unplug. I need to do more of that because
Yes.
scary.
That
And
sounds like New Year's Eve for me. New Year's Eve, like whatever I'm doing for New Year's Eve, will be a disconnecting situation, whether it's with myself, with friends, with somebody cute. I don't know, but it's gonna be something.
well, get those plans together because we are basically in second quarter. The year is coming to,
For real.
a full
For real.
speed, and the time to plan is now. And if you need help, I got you. So
Thank you. So remember, everyone, please go to bit.ly/retreat boss. I'll say that again, bit.ly/retreat boss. Okay. Please go support Janelle with World Phototeller Travel. She deserves it because she knows what she's talking about. And we're going to see what we can do for Brazil next year. So
yes.
everyone, thank you so much for coming on, being on. And as always, I am Asa Leveaux, dreams and radical blessings.